back, family, to Equity Endowment, to this week's update for December 8th, 2023. Yesterday was a very important day for me and for my family. It was the birthday of my late uncle, Reginald F. Lewis. And if you've been following along on Instagram this week at Equity Endowment, you'll see that we've been talking a lot about accessibility to capital. Yesterday, there was an article in the Washington Post talking about the lack of accessibility to capital for Black Americans to be able to purchase home and home ownership, and how the wealth divide in our country is exacerbating that issue, and is also, it's cyclical. It's exacerbating the issue and also is exacerbated in itself by the issue, right? So if that makes sense, but really want to circle back to why I'm doing this. And my uncle's story was really truly an amazing story. It's very much an American story, and something that he accomplished that no one else really has quite accomplished since he did it back in 1987, when he was able to be backed by Mr. Michael Milken for $1 billion to then go out and acquire Beatrice Foods, and what at the time was the largest ever offshore leveraged buyout. Again, this is in December of 1987. And in fact, to be able to access $1 billion in capital, to be able to go out and acquire, I think it was close to 50 companies in over 30 countries, most of it in Europe, before the euro, all the different currencies, an extremely complex transaction. So similarly at Equity Endowment, we're not going to run from complexity. We're actually going to run towards complexity. The wealth divide is a very complex problem, and while we're not going to act like we're going to solve everything, of course, but we believe that our approach, our innovative approach, can create impact in our generation and our children's generation, certainly, and transform our country and the economic outcomes for many people of color in our nation, and for all people, all of our citizens in our country. And that's really what was really vital to my uncle's story. So if you want to dig into more of that story, I have my uncle's books, of course. Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? You got to have that one, right? If you haven't read it, please get it on Amazon, wherever you get your book. Support Black-owned, minority-owned booksellers, and if they have it, go get it from them. Certainly, the movie's in pre-production. Hopefully, the strikes end soon in Hollywood, and you'll be able to watch your feature film before the end of the decade. So shout out to my cousin Christina and everybody who's working on that project. Charles King out in LA. Then, of course, we Mr. Lynn Hart. Lynn Hart, a wonderful man. I've had a chance to work with his nephew, who was a Morehouse College graduate. Lynn Hart was my uncle's roommate. He wrote a book, The Young Man Before the $1 Billion Empire. You really want to understand the work ethic what went into making my uncle who he was in his early years at Virginia State. Shout out Virginia State, go Trojans. Check this out. And then this year, 2023, my tita Loida, my aunt Loida, wrote her book, Why Should Guys Have All the Fun? You should definitely check this out. She's been touring, barnstorming the country this year, doing a book signing. She did one here in Baltimore in May, and then in DC, and I had the chance to open up both of those programs with a brief prayer. And so go get this one. I especially recommend this one for the women. Not only because the woman next to the man, no, my aunt has her own legacy. She was in real estate, in philanthropy, and of course when my uncle passed away, was able to take the business and lead it forward for the next decade, and has just been so active in so many things beyond that in the last 25 years. So go get this as well, wherever you can get it. And if you can find her book signing, if she's having some in 2024, I haven't seen the schedule yet, go get it signed, go meet her and give her your love at this point in her life. And so my uncle would have been 81 yesterday. So Equity Endowment. There's a short video. If you haven't had a chance to go to our website, equityendowment.org, to watch the documentary there, please do so. But towards the end of it, my uncle was briefly mentioned. But there's a brief clip. There was a documentary film produced by New York Public Television about 6 years ago, and there's a brief clip of my uncle. And I'm going to play it here for you. And what he says here about America, making America better, is really at the crux for me of why this is personal, and why I hope this will become more personal to you, as to why bridging the wealth gap, while doing something, while injecting money into our economy, while creating access to capital for Black business owners, for minority fund managers, for minority business owners, for all people, equitably, will truly make our democracy and our country stronger, and our people better, and our society healthier. So this is just a small part that I'm trying to play, and I'm asking for your help. I'm asking you to join this community and be a part of what we're trying to do here. Subscribe on our website at equityendowment.org.
That pioneering spark of entrepreneurship which ignited Reginald F. Lewis as a teenager never went out. Even in the face of adversity and extraordinary obstacles, he accomplished what few have been able to do. At a convocation speech at the University of New Mexico School of Law, he delivered a message of hope and determination.
When we're confronted with a challenge or working against superior resources or superior odds, I frequently wonder whether what we're doing is worth the effort. And somehow I remember all of the people who went before who had even greater odds. So if there's one message that I would like to leave to the class of 1990, it is that you keep going to build a better society in America, to be a compassionate America, that you keep going no matter what. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.